Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
I'll hear the media announce, again, 99% of the time, oh, see, foster care needs more funding. CPS needs more funding. Family services need more funding. And then you go dig deeper into the other stories about it, you'll always find it's foster care. It's the government. So they hurt the children, then advertise that it's parents, and then get more money. There's no end to their wickedness. Greg Pound, tell us all about it.
Well, Alex, thank you for having me on again. I want to, what it is that I have our pastor on this program here. I have him on the other phone now. His name is B.B. Bent. He's got a degree in law and government. His father for 30 years was with the CIA. His son-in-law is over the embassy, the American embassy in Baghdad. His son is in the intelligence Marine Corps. And what happens is the reason I have him is because I want him to help explain. He's been a part of the service of civil government and the service of America.
I didn't know he was on today. Tell me his name again.
B.B. Bent. And
B.B. Bent.
Yeah, and he's also in law school in London.
Okay, that's fine. Tell me exactly. I mean, let's get into the current story you said you wanted to come on about.
Well, see, the current story is simple. That I heard your program here a week ago, and you were talking about. You had someone on there that you were interviewing who said to you that children are going to die, and you were pounding him about the issue. And then the next day in the paper comes out the issue of this child that was only a year and a half old, taken from the parents, stuck in foster care. The foster parents told them, listen, we need help. We've got too many kids. They're scared. They're grabbing so many kids. They're sticking them in the foster care places. The people can't deal with it. They told them to come and get the child. These two children that they dropped off said, listen, we can't deal with them. We need you to take these kids. And they never came out. They left them in the one, and they shook the child until the child was brain dead.
Yeah, they murder children just 24/7. Then nothing stops them, and now they go. John, pull that clip up where the head of CPS says children will die, just the way it is.
That's exactly right. That was the clip that I heard. And so what happens is our case manager who stole our kids illegally. Now B.B. Bent has a degree in law and government. And our whole church, Alex, we could never deal with the hell that the CPI, Child Protection Investigations, what they're doing to Florida, what they did to our family, trying to break us down. We're in Pinellas County where Terry Shiver was starved to death, and these people they think they can do whatever they want.
So is B.B. Bent fighting this?
Oh, yeah. It's the whole church. Our whole congregation has supported us through this, and once you hear him talk and explain to you, I mean, and his whole family's involved.
Okay, well, I'm going to hold you over a little bit in the next hour if you can do it since we got you on late. And call Jesse Trinidad. Tell him I'm going to get him on 15 after, John. Okay, here is the clip. We're only going to play part of this. I can't stand listening to it. They snatched the lady's child for some dirty plates. We've contacted her and others. That's why they were taken. The little girl's taken for dirty plates in the house. They tricked their way in. Any dog hair, anything, they're gone. And they take them to these filth pits where they're killed. Here it is.
Children will die, whether they're in foster care or whether they're in their own relatives' care. Children will die.
Strong words from DHS after the deaths of two children. Thanks for choosing Eyewitness News 5 at 5. I'm Maggie Carlo.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jessica Shambach. 2-year-old Sky Dawn Ward died Sunday. Tonight, her death and the death of another child over the weekend are raising questions about how DHS keeps kids safe while they're in foster care.
And Eyewitness News 5's Amanda Garrett joins us now. And Amanda, you talked to DHS today, and what they told you, downright shocking.
Yeah, it was shocking because the DHS spokesman, like you heard, told me children will die, no matter if it's in their own home or in foster care.
She was just beautiful. I mean,
2-year-old Sky Dawn Word drowned at this foster home in Chickasha Sunday. It's not the only foster care death over the weekend. In Ardmore, 19-month-old Ray Palmer died when a car backed over him. Plus, DHS now faces a lawsuit from a Tulsa family. They claim this foster parent, William Hunter Jr., inappropriately touched his foster son. So today we went to DHS to ask them what they think about these recent cases.
So, do you think something different will have to happen now?
I don't think so.
Why not?
because children will die, whether they're in foster care or whether they're in their own relatives'
All right, that's
care.
enough of that punk. So the point is, they can kill your children 5 times more likely than any other group, most dangerous place to be. They can kill your children all day long, and there's no investigation, no changes. They're above the law. They are God incarnate. The death will continue. This was only one Oklahoma town. I mean, just deaths every day in Austin, deaths everywhere. The murder spree continues. The child molesters want a child. They go become foster parents, and then the CPS will not investigate because they will not investigate themselves. So the smart pedophiles don't stand outside schoolyards. They become foster parents, and the raping operation begins. Now, again, I'm running on here. BB Bent, you're welcome to comment.
Go ahead, Bruce. Bruce? I'm just hearing dead airspace.
No, you're here. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, Greg.
Alex?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Sorry, sir. I was just hearing dead air. I lost the
you're on
signal.
air right now. Go ahead, Mr. Bent.
I want to let your listeners know the things that you've been telling people about what's going on around the country are dead on. They're not just happening here in Florida, but it is the program, a federal program, and the monies that are allotted to the states are dependent upon their participation in the program. We have documentation to show that not only are the federal agencies of the executive department involved, but because of that, the state agencies are involved under the same guise, and that the courts are involved by contract as collection agencies for these agencies. They actually have signed contracts between the judges and the agencies as collection servants for that. The other thing that you mentioned that was so right on is the fact that the majority of this is coming to us not by our elected officials through the Congress. This has been suspended. Since 1933, under emergency powers, all of these things have been stopped. Most of our law now comes from executive order, not from our legislature.
And the family services, I even have a mainstream media clip today about it from mainstream television. It was set up for eugenics, and they would sterilize the poor children. That's where CPS was founded. Go ahead.
And you're absolutely right. Those things are very, very much a present part of everyday reality for so many thousands of families now across the country. And a lot of it is, as you said, in Florida specifically, because that's where we live and what we're dealing with every day, these things are done without the benefit of trial. They're done behind the closed doors of a judge's chambers in a judge who is appointed over that specific area of law and who hears the cases and makes the decisions as rubber stamping the agency what is brought.
Children have less rights than Taliban at Camp X-Ray.
You're absolutely right. You know, there are so many things that, and the thing of it is it's done under the idea that they're protecting child's rights. But in reality, it's the destruction of the family. It's not the protection. It's not the support of the parents in protecting the home and so forth, which is supposed to be, and is said legislative to be the intent of the department, is to protect and hold the family together. And that the only time that the children are to be taken from the family is if, in fact, a crime has been committed. And the probable cause statute in the state of Florida for hearing for taking custody of children is based upon the fact that there has to be the probable cause standard for an arrest warrant.
But all of that is ignored system-wide in a racketeering conspiracy for federal funds on headhunting. There are bounties on all your children. These are commanded by pedophile rings. It's been in the Florida news that every director of the CPS, well, for the last 6 years, it turns out, is a pedophile. Don't believe me? Check it out. What would a sleigh dog do up in the North Country in northern Canada if it was tied up outside in the morning in its doghouse and a grizzly bear or a polar bear came walking in? He'd bark. And I try to control myself. I want the listeners to know when I start frothing on this subject, because it really upsets me, it threatens me at a base level. Her hurts my spirit. Because I know, I've seen it. I've been there when they're snatching the babies for no reason. I've seen the people crying. I've seen the pain. I've seen the pedophile cops. They have special cops they use. Smile with pleasure. Big, fat, Nelly pieces of trash. Maggot suckers. Just pit of hell demons. I've seen the CPS people waddling around. They're all the same. Demons of hell. Literal scum, filth. Just unimaginable. And everything I'm telling you is true, folks. They're just grabbing over 1 million children a year with wanton abandon. Always advertising the worst cases with parents to demonize parents. It's all part of eugenics. I'm going to hold you guys 15 minutes over the next hour. You were getting B.B. Bent, who our guest, Greg Pound, who had his children kidnapped years ago for no reason because the neighbor's dog bit the child, and they take her child for that.